What's up, y'all? Y'all know who it is. Your boy JP here, hoping to make your install life a whole lot easier. Today we're going to do part 2 of the Chevy Corvette full audio installation upgrade, and that is going to be installing this Kenwood DMX 8709S. Now, in the video that you've seen before, we already took the dash bezel out, so that's going to be one part that's already done for us, but we need to wire this up. We need to get some stuff pre-planned for further installations for when we're doing the amps, and we need to go ahead and do some modifications and cutting, because remember that radio is a dent and a half, and we're actually moving it to an aftermarket double dent. So let's go ahead and get started. And the wire harness that we're going to be using is the 701858. Now, I have to warn you, for the 2002 Chevy Corvette that we're working on, this is not the wire harness that is supposed to go. It's the wire harness that fits, and I'm gonna explain the difference. So as you can see, it does fit, but there are 3 power wires that turn this radio on. The black one is for ground, the red one is for ignition, that's what turns it on, and the yellow one is the constant 12 volts. If you look at the black pin on the other side, that black with the white stripe give us the ground. If we look at the yellow wire on the other side pin, it is orange. When we look at that red wire right here in the middle, there is no ignition in this pin number 2 right here. So what that usually means is that you have a wire harness that's usually over $100. It's going to come with a little module that's usually going to replicate a 12 volt turn on, so you won't have to hardwire anything. Now, we're already running brand new speaker wire to each individual speaker inside this vehicle, so I'm hardwiring anyway. So instead of buying the $130, $150 wire harness, we got the $20 harness, and we're just going to do a little extra work. So with that being said, there are wires in this car harness that we're not going to use. We're already wiring up each individual speaker wire, so we're not going to use any of these. We know we don't have an ignition, so we're not going to use this either. So that means the only wires that we're going to actually hook up is this black, yellow, orange, and this solid blue. And while that's cooling down, we're going to do the same thing over here to the wires that we're not going to use. Now, to make sure that they're going to be out the way, I like to just kind of fold it like this. I'm going to throw a little zip tie on it like that. Now, since we are going to have to find an ignition somewhere inside the vehicle, I put a little bullet connector on this end. We put the male end on the car harness side because this is going to be receiving 12 volts. So if this wire flops out or whatever and touches something, it's not going to damage anything. Now, we put the female end on this one because this is going to be outputting 12 volts. If you put that male end on this side and it accidentally touches ground, then it's going to send that short back to the radio, and you can possibly fry something. Hopefully you just pop the fuse, but we don't want that to happen. So since this is outputting, we put the female over here. All right, y'all, so we're going to go ahead and start with the radio modifications. We are going to have to modify this just so we can get that double dent fit at the top, which also means that we have to move the AC controls down. This right here is a template that comes with the new dash kit, the one that we got from Amazon. Now, there are going to be 2 holes that line up that the 7 mils came out originally. So we want to take 2 7 mils and put them in those. Then it's going to leave us with 1, 2, 3, and 4 more holes, and we want to use an 1/8 inch drill bit, and we want to drill some new holes inside this metal. We can remove our little bracket piece, and now we're going to push all these wires out of the way because this top and bottom little metal support brace has to get cut out. Usually I would use my air saw, but we have the hacksaw. We're gonna see how good of a job this does. What enough me? So now we're down here at the footwell where the fuse box is at. We actually found a couple blown fuses, so we had to swap some of those out. We rather want an accessory, and that's going to be this heavy gauge orange wire right here. I have my red probe going into the orange wire. 0 with it off. 12 with it on. His cigarette lighter port, he doesn't necessarily need 2 of them. He is going to need one for the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the radio. So what we got is a 12-inch USB adapter, and I think I actually want to use that inside the little armrest right here. That way he can just kind of plug his phone inside the armrest, close it up, and there's no wire shown. But what that also means is that this frees up a 12-volt constant circuit. Since the cigarette lighter port that was inside his dash originally was messed up, what I want to do is cut this connector, solder this in onto these 2 wires. That way he keeps his original cigarette lighter port right here, and since we have the USB extension right here in the little middle armrest situation, I'm going to take this constant and ground circuit, take some wire, run that to the back. That way, while he's driving, somebody can charge their phone from the front. He can use his Apple CarPlay in the center console, and we have a constant and ground circuit that we can use for our switch box relay in the back. It's coming on pretty nicely. So this is the part that gets a little bit tedious because the side brackets that mount to the radio do not actually mount straight to the dash bezel. So what that means is that we have to do a whole lot of test fitting, a lot of putting the radio in, putting the dash bezel on, seeing if it fits, see if we have the desired look that we like, and then take it back off if it does not have that desired look. I actually ended up having to do this like 10 or 15 different times, so I'm just going to kind of fast forward to kind of let you guys know what I had to end up doing. The easiest thing was me to go ahead and take out the pocket and the coin holder, because we're doing all this test fitting, taking the dash on and off so many times, it's just easier for those 2 things not to be in the way. This side seems to be on perfect. This needs to go up a little bit, maybe like 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to do some modifications over here to get it to actually go up 1/8 and mount. And then I think I'm going to do the exact same thing for this, because we have a small gap right here. So this needs to come up 1/8, and just the right side needs to come up 1/8. So we just got done doing our modifications for this side. What I did is we just kind of dremeled this out a little bit bigger, and we redid the hole, because for whatever reason on this dash kit, this hole doesn't even line up. So in order for this to slide up, we need to make this hole bigger and at the bottom of this one. So hopefully this is going to be the last test fit that we're going to do. We have everything ran up to my knowledge. This is going to be our backup camera. We already have that ran from the back to the front. Going to plug that into the reverse camera in, and we have a bullet connector to plug in right over here, and that is going to switch our radio. We did the military splice from the accessory down there in the back. We're going to do the bullet connector on that one as well. And we're going to go ahead and plug in our wire harness just so we can see that bad boy come on. All right, so this is kicked up on the side and moved over that way a little bit. Now I kind of just crammed all the wires back there in the back. I don't really care about keeping it neat right now because this is not the full installation. We still have a 4-channel amp and a sub amp to hook up, so that means RCAs and a remote wire has to come up here. The bass knob has to come over here to the side wherever we're going to end up mounting that. So I just want to test fit this to make sure this is the desired look that we want to go for. Now that right there is looking real clean. There's a USB that still has to travel this way up here, hook up to our extension, and then we have the USB flush mounted right there on that side. Let's check out the backup camera. Backup camera comes on, boom, and everything's perfect. Now we temporarily put it back together fully so you see what it looks like when it's all said and done before we take it back out. But we got the radio in, we got the cigarette lighter port in, we got the pocket in, the cup holders in, and now we got to take it back out because we still have RCAs that we have to run to the back. But if you found any type of value in this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment if you want to. If you want to stay tuned in on the rest of the videos on this audio system upgrade on the C5, make sure you hit that notification bell. And if you guys want to learn how to put a car stereo in yourself, the Introduction to Car Audio book is on sale right now. Till next time, it's your boy JP signing out. God bless y'all. Peace.